So I'm going to say maybe it's an Italian-made art glass lamp.
There's an old curiosity shop. Every once in a while I go by there for the fond recollections that lie there in that old curiosity shop.
Hello everyone and welcome back to the dining room of the 1925 bungalow. I'm Scott. Now, before I show you what's on this table, don't go to my eBay store. You know why? There's nothing in it. Ooh, I'm sold out. I've got to get busy again. What I'm going to do right now is show you everything that I'm going to be selling, and I haven't put anything in the store. But I will be back. You know you can purchase live sales in the eBay store, and don't worry, I will get it stocked again. Where is the supervisor? The supervisor has earned his rest. Now, if you're not sure who that is, the cat that meows at the end of my videos was my cat, Salem the cat, who I used to call the supervisor because there wasn't a single thing I could do without being instructed on how to do it. And the supervisor lived to be 20 years old. I had him from basically birth to 20. I never thought a cat would live 20 years, but he did, and he was a good cat. And he crossed the Rainbow Bridge about 1.5 years ago. Will there be another cat? Yeah, just not ready yet. Ready meaning I don't need a kitten running around in here when I'm still trying to figure out what my curtains are gonna be. Okay, so this is everything you're gonna see here will be in the live sale Monday night. Now you're not gonna see everything. Some of you said, don't show us everything, let us have some surprises. You bet there are gonna be some surprises. But I'll show you about half of what will be sold Monday night. And the theme for this coming Monday night is clear glass rules. It's not all going to be clear glass, but a lot of it will. And I'm going very quickly in this video because you'll get the full descriptions in the auction. And honestly, some of this stuff I haven't even had because this, I haven't had a chance to even study some of it. A beautiful pressed glass cruet, which was blown in a mold and then polished next Monday night. A beautiful Fraunfelter China bowl with the bird of paradise. That's so 1930s, and this is made in the USA. This is made in Ohio, and we'll talk more about Fraunfelter and that and birds of paradise and their popularity in the 1920s. Oh, one of my lights just went out. Hold on. All right, we're back again. Let's look at some more clear glass, but remember, I promise you there's going to be more than just clear glass. Now, sometimes I have no doubt that a piece is antique. No doubt antique. No doubt antique. You'll see him again a little bit closer in a second. This, I don't know. I do recognize quality when I see it, but sometimes age can be tricky. Now those other two pieces there, old pressed glass. This is cut, and I just don't know if it was made 5 years ago in Czechoslovakia, or if it's an old brilliant piece. I'm still studying, still learning, and still making mistakes. But what a beautiful piece. Now this is cut. I don't even know what this thing is. Is it a big old candy jar? It has no damage on it at all. And look at the way the light just bounces off of all of those facets. I don't see any wear on the bottom. With 100-year-old glass, I normally see wear, where it's been sliding around on tables for 100 years. So this could be a very good piece of European cut glass. They're still doing this work in Poland and in Czechoslovakia. But a lot of you out there are more knowledgeable in this than I am. We'll see. But anyway, it will be for sale Monday night. And it's heavy. All right, let's give the clear glass a break. I love these 1930s jewelry boxes with cedar. And just look how beautiful that one is. Boy, they put the money wood on the front. And there's almost always a paper decal. And you can see it's got the old finish on it, the old crackly finish. And that's the real thing, you know, from the 30s. My grandmothers had them, your grandmothers had them. A lot of times these were given away for free when you bought a big cedar chest. Hope chest, you know, when the girl would get that for her wedding or for her graduation. I talked about this extensively in yesterday's video, so I won't bore you with that. But that's an antique piece, which is, well, go watch yesterday's video and you'll see. I'll tell you all about that. I also tell you all about this in yesterday's video. This is a beautiful piece too, and this is pressed glass. It's pressed. So we have some pressed, and we have some cut, and we've got some like this, which I could not resist. What I'm going to show you now, this isn't very high quality. Some of these other things I showed you were high quality. I found one, and it was marked too high, and I said, I don't want to pay like $8 for that. 2 days later, I'm in another thrift store in another city, in another state, and I find a second one. So I bought that and then went back and got that. Pairs are always wonderful. So I have two. Now, again, I haven't even had a chance to look this one up, but let's take a look closely. That's got to be from the Jazz Age. Look at the deco influence on it. It's not expensive glass at all. I love the bubbles, I love the zigzag, and look at all the little, almost like little confetti. See in there all the little lines? Almost like stippling. The piece has a lot of movement to it. It's, again, not an expensive vase, but it almost mimics the era in which it was made. I love the thing. And I don't know yet. I'll dig around and see if I can figure out who made it. But I've got two of them, and I just love the design. So we'll have, those are going to be sold as a pair. From the 1940s, this was also in yesterday's video. This, I went all through my Porcelier book and I can't find it. Now that doesn't mean, well, it is made by Porcelier. And the fact that it's not in the Porcelier book lends me to believe that this is a hard one to find, because the Porcelier book that I have is extensive. And the person who wrote that book had been collecting Porcelier for quite some time. There's the mark on the bottom. We have talked about the Porcelier company, which got its start in Pittsburgh, and then the factories were in Pennsylvania. I think they went out of business. They started around 1926, and then they shut their doors in the early 50s. But look at the black and orange, the autumn colors. I guess this is like stylized crocus. I don't know, but it's a really neat porcelain, Porcelier. That's the company Porcelier. And I looked through my book twice, and it wasn't in there. Imperial made this. It still has its little sticker on the bottom. And if I say it's a violin, somebody will say it's a string bass. And if I say it's a string bass, somebody will say it's a cello. So it can be what you want it to be, but it's a vase. I guess you could put liquor in it. Well, not liquor. Did liquor come in these? I don't think so. But you could pour. So maybe you put wine. Maybe you're supposed to put wine in this. And then you can pour 2 glasses of wine. Maybe that's why it has like a, I don't know. a big stack of green plates. And yes, I'll probably talk more about it Monday night. I'll talk about it now. I was watching some other channel. I don't know how I stumbled upon it, but I stumbled upon somebody else's channel, and a lady was doing a thrift haul. And she had something that was green, and she made the comment about, okay, maybe it has uranium in it, maybe it doesn't, but there seems to be a little too much emphasis placed on the value of green glass depending on whether it glows or not. And I agree with her. In fact, I got up and I gave her a round of applause, and then I danced around my parlor. Nothing wrong with a black light, nothing wrong with glass that has uranium in it. I think it's great that a lot of younger collectors have discovered it, but sometimes you'll hear disparaging remarks about green glass that does not glow. It's fine if you just collect it to glow, but there's nothing wrong with green glass that doesn't have uranium in it, because most of us, I'm going to buy it and use it and not turn all the lights off and plug in my black light. So what am I trying to say? What I'm trying to say is, it seems like sometimes the importance of this green glass depends upon whether or not it glows. That's all I'm saying. Having said that, yeah, there is uranium in these. Not a whole lot, but there is uranium, and they do glow under a black light for those for which that's important. For everybody else, they're great plates to eat off of. They did have gold on them, and you're going to get various. Now, Granny really scrubbed that one. She scrubbed the gold right off of it. We got some scratches in there. Well, maybe it was Uncle Henry who scratched all the gold off of it. So I'm leaving it this way. Some folks like the fact that, it's a little splotchy. Someone else might decide to put something on there and get all the gold off. There are some scratches on them, but they're nice, heavy plates. And if you do get the gold off, that etch is still there. There's only one plate that has damage. All the rest of them, a little whack in it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So there's 12 of them. We'll see them again. And they're what, like an 8-inch? Yeah, that's about an 8-inch plate. Two little dessert pedestals, cake pedestals. That's got water on the top of it. All right, this one you saw in yesterday's video. I believe this to be an old one, an old pressed glass piece. I believe this to be an old one, and it has like a snowflake design on the front, and this is a little bit smaller. And these have different, these are nice. One more thing to show you today before we bring this to an end. And then, of course, two more things. And there will be more surprises for Monday night's live sale. You said, we want some more lamps. All right, I've got 2 lamps for you. Now, ignore the shade. The shade is a little bit too small. So I probably won't sell the shades unless you want me to sell them. But I've got a pair of these, and they're adorable little bedroom lamps, probably made in the 30s or 40s, because it looks like a little candle that you would carry around in the colonial days. And the colonial revival stuff was considered good taste in the 30s. So that shade is a little too small. It's a cute little shade, but they have nice nickel or chrome sockets. And then you come all the way down. It's just pressed glass, and they weren't expensive when they were new. So I have 2 of these normally for the bedroom dresser. Or these are actually large enough to really be on 2 bedside tables if you had 2. And then the last piece of glass that I have to show you for today is a beautiful, heavy cut glass piece. It must weigh 20 pounds. This is full of lead, and I'm stumped on this again. I cannot tell if it's an antique or if it's 20 years old. I'm leaning towards the newer side, meaning maybe made sometime in the last 20 or 30 years. But again, I'm not an expert on this, and so caveat emptor. My father taught me that. Caveat emptor, let the buyer beware. He must have said that to me a million times. Caveat emptor, caveat emptor. So thank you, Dad, for teaching me that. That means when I go to sell it, I'm just going to say, take a look at it. I don't know. Could be antique, but I think it's something new. All right, well, let's see it. Now, you're going to laugh at me because I stuck a candle in it, and it doesn't show up in this. This doesn't do it justice. I'm giving you the idea of that would be like a snowball. Now, the candle that's in there is in glass, so don't worry. Wax won't leak. All right. But this thing is, I guess I should probably turn out the lights. Maybe I'll turn the lights out and videotape this with this beautiful candle in it. Look at that. Wouldn't that be nice on your coffee table or on your mantle clock? It's huge. Look how big that thing is. I mean, you know, I don't know. So, but it's cut, pressed and cut. This up here is pressed. That's pressed glass. That little waffle pattern is pressed, but these little stars are cut, right? So you have a piece that comes out, and this is cut, and these lines are cut. So it's a piece that was pressed in a mold, and then somebody sits and does all this cut work. So I don't know. I'm thinking it's not antique, but what a beautiful piece is that? I think so. Now, that's all Monday night, plus a few other things. I'm going to show you one more thing that I just bought, and I want you to tell me if I am crazy. You can see the top of a lamp. I'm not ready to sell this yet. It's fresh from the front seat of my truck, and I did pick off the price tag. And I'm going to go ahead and tell you, I paid $40 for this. It's sometimes fun to take a chance, right? Nothing ventured, nothing gained. Is that what they say? Well, let's see the doggone thing. It's made of glass, and it is mid-century. I'm getting an Italian feel, but I don't know. It's beautiful glass, and we can see it's opalescent glass. It has just a, brass base. It's unmarked. You know by the socket. Now that finial is replaced. That's probably a new finial. You know by the socket. I do. I'm sure you do as well. This kind of a base, and this has not been rewired. So that's a kind of a 1960s era plug. I don't know. I paid $40 for it, and I'm hoping that I can make a little money on it. There was only one, but it's solid glass. Now it does not light up down here. It would be really cool if there was a socket and the inside lit up, but that's not the way this lamp is wired. So I don't know how well the glass you can see. It's kind of a peachy color, but when you turn it, you get different shades. You get some iridescence to it. So I'm going to say maybe it's an Italian-made art glass lamp. It just walked in the door about 5 minutes ago. But I wanted to get this. I'm going to be running around this weekend, and I won't have time to do a video. All right, I hope to see you Monday night at 8 o'clock. I go live at 8 p.m. The auction starts at 8:10 sharp. And we sell for 2 hours, and we stop at 10 p.m. We cut it right off, and then from 10 o'clock on, we chit-chat as long as we can stay awake. Okay, that's it. Thanks for watching, everyone. Tell me what you think in the comments below, and I'll read it. I'm Scott from the Old Curiosity Shop saying thanks for watching. And so long for now.